goal is to bring you your next favorite band.
Sweet, that intro is my new favorite band. That's phenomenal. I'm so excited to be on.
Yeah. I heard a rumor that you might be able to play that song live today.
You heard correctly. Yes.
So,
good enough for rapping.
I don't know when I rock out here on your next favorite band show.
and listen, it's going to be everybody's favorite band.
Phil, you weren't supposed to make me get all... God almighty,
But this
Phil.
is why we do it.
Like, seriously. I gotta gather myself. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Welcome to your next favorite band. That's both the show title and our promise to you. We here at Stereophilia Studio are tireless in our pursuit of finding incredible, genre-defiant artists who are either a hot up-and-coming band or a group that has been delivering for years but have flown under the radar.
Tonight, we have unapologetic Lady Power Americana with the Flying Vees.
Each month, we will bring you live streams, audio podcasts, and perhaps even a live concert where you can listen to the stories and hear the music of artists personally curated by us based on what we feel will be worthy of your time. Be sure to subscribe and tune in to each episode because the possibilities are endless and you never know who will be
Your next favorite band.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Philip Reese, and you are listening to your next favorite band. And we've got a great one for you tonight. We are going to introduce you to, and listen, you might already know them if that's why you're tuning in. Thank you so much. But in case you're tuning in to find your next favorite band, it's going to be the Flying Vees. And again, like we said off the top there, unapologetic Lady Power Americana. But again, labels, the Americana labels, the music genre stuff, you always hear us talk about it here. It's like an unfair categorization, and it's just great music. So we'll call it that, and we'll get to it in a moment here. Wanted to first remind you, we are basically, week and a half out from the No Planet B Jamboree. And we do usually bring up this graphic here, but today let's pop over to the webpage because I want to kind of show you some pretty cool things that are going on here. So the No Planet B Jamboree, if you came to nextfaveband.com, this is the webpage there, and this is our homepage, and kind of shows you, here's our most recent episodes and so on. But if you go up here, well, first you can see here upcoming No Planet B Jamboree 2025, but also up in this corner here, we call them our specials. Back in February, we had Listen to the Dissonance, December, the Winter Wonder Jam, and here in April, in honor of Earth Day, we have the No Planet B Jamboree. This year, like we've talked about in the past, it's going to be over at the Arts Quest campus, which is so great. First of all, to be kind of affiliated with them, and we're putting this on together, is super awesome, and so honored to be able to have them as a kind of a partner on this. It's so great. But the other amazing thing that gives us is both an indoor stage to move to if needed, but an outdoor stage like we love, obviously, for the ability to celebrate spring and the earth and all that stuff. We prefer to have this be outside. So the outdoor stage is there on the town square. And if weather happens to be a factor, steps away is that palette and pour stage that's inside behind the glass. And so location, date, time is all kind of preserved. And so we can do this confidently. Remind you, free, once again, it's a free festival. And here's the lineup. Shane Guerrett, who we interviewed back in February a year ago. So a year ago, we interviewed Shane Guerrett. He's an amazing blues guitar player. It just has incredible music. I think everyone's going to really love him. Roberta Faceplant, also from Philadelphia, so like our guests tonight. And Katie Feeney is also passionate about the earth. Like, she has been part of organizations like Clean Air Council and such. So like, it's really cool, kind of like, connection there of both the passion and then also the music. So that's awesome. And then Drew and the Blue from Reading is incredible. And we interviewed them back just this past November. And Katie we interviewed back in October. Drew from Drew and the Blue joined me for an interview with WDIY that's going to be airing tomorrow. WDIY is a local radio station here in the Lehigh Valley. And they're actually doing their fund drive right now, so you can also support them if you so choose, if you get to check out that interview. And then on Saturday morning, the local television station, WFMZ, Bo Coltnow, who is such a huge supporter of the live music scene here in the Lehigh Valley, he's kind enough to bring us on to help support these events. And Katie from Roberta Faceplant is going to join me, so we're going to talk about the event, and she's going to be performing all morning. So that's a pretty cool thing. Here's some other cool stuff. There's a fun run. So the Running Kind is a local running group that really is supporting the whole sustainability theme. And so when they heard about this, they were like, can we do a run? And Arts Quest said cool, and we said cool. And they're going to run a 5-ish K starting at around 12:30 that's going to finish at the stage. So the runners who participate are going to basically be rolling up onto that stage right around the time that the music starts. So that's very, very cool. Media sponsor is WDIY, and then these are organizations that are going to be tabling, and there's more that are in the works that are just simply trying to find people, because obviously the Saturday before Earth Day, pretty common day for events like this. So there have been plenty of organizations who were saying, man, I wish I could be there. I'm already committed to this one or that one or what have you. So they're trying to find maybe someone else on the board or whatever to join. So this list may grow out, but it is very, very cool to get these organizations. And one other thing I wanted to mention is next Tuesday night is the pre-jam. So the live stream next week's episode is the No Planet B pre-jam. And with that, we're going to play some music from the 3 bands who are performing. We always get to talk with Paige Roth, who is from reverb.org, who is doing amazing things to help the music industry be more green and reduce their footprint. And we're going to share more about these organizations. So it's going to be a cool night to kind of talk with. And actually, the person who's basically the head person, Amy Coase, who runs that the Running Kind group, she's going to join that night to be the guest co-host and kind of help talk through everything. But anyway, should be a fun night next Tuesday, the 15th, which you can either watch live or catch the on-demand leading up to the Jamboree. And then on Saturday, everything kind of starts off run starts at 12:30. The event starts at 1. Around 1:15 is when the music will start. And we'll be there all afternoon. It'll probably go to about 4:30 or so with 3 different bands playing some amazing music, and another way to kind of find your next favorite band. So anyway, hope you plan on joining us. If you're not close enough to be able to check all that out, by all means, check out the music of those 3 performers. I think they're definitely going to be music that you'll enjoy. And then if you do, you can also check out the interview that we did with them, each one of them last year. But let's get to tonight's guest. And before that, let's check out some notes from our sponsor, BetterHelp. Hey, music lovers. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to tell you about our sponsor, BetterHelp. More and more mental health topics of depression, anxiety, addiction, and more are coming up in our interviews with artists and musicians who are brave enough to share them and the music that came out of the journey. Those songs may even help us feel a little bit less alone as we work through the same struggles, but at the end of the day, we need more than just a great song. We need therapy, and that's where BetterHelp can assist. BetterHelp connects you with a therapist who can help you find your path. Instead of being stuck in the endless loop of questioning yourself, you can talk through questions, concerns, with someone who's trained to help you find real answers. As you know, our Listen to the Dissonance shows help to create a safe space for vulnerable conversations, but not everywhere can feel that way. Since BetterHelp is accessed via their app, you can explore your options and conduct your sessions in the comfort of your own home or wherever you feel is best for you. After you download the app, you'll get started by filling out a questionnaire and get matched with a therapist in as little as a couple of days. And if that's not feeling right, you can easily switch to a different therapist at any time at no extra cost. They carefully make sure the therapists on the platform are well qualified, and their customer support team is there to help you with any questions. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.5 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform that you can trust. We at Your Next Favorite Band believe in breaking the stigma around mental health, and going to therapy is a sign of strength, not weakness. And with BetterHelp, it's easier than ever to take that first step towards feeling better. Click the link here or go to betterhelp.com/nextfaveband and you'll get 10% off your first month of therapy. That's betterhelp.com/nextfaveband. It's okay to ask for help. Contact BetterHelp today. So one thing you'll always hear me talk about on this show is to never miss the opening act, and tonight is a great example of that. I had gone to see, actually I'm wearing the shirt tonight, Fantastic Cat. I saw them down in Philadelphia It was in December, and caught the opener, and it was the Flying Vees. And I immediately knew within half a song that we were in for a treat, and that I would hope to meet with them at the merch table after the set to be able to ask them to come on the show. That all happened. Here we are now today to make that all come true. And so we always like to play some music and share a bio before bringing them on. So check out their, this track is incredible, and I think it's a more recent release of theirs, especially the video is very, very cool. So if you're listening on the podcast, definitely check out their YouTube channel because this video is incredible. The song is called The Devil Knows My Name, and it's the Flying Vees.
Well, by now he knows my name. Got no one else to blame. Because the devil knows my name. I had a friend, she loved me so. She had a handsome beau, but I stole him right underneath her nose. That's why the devil knows my name. I'll steal from you and get drunk in the day. They say I can't be saved.
The Flying Vees is a bona fide supergroup composed of 4 seasoned musicians of varied backgrounds. Brechyn Chace, Shannon Vasile, Caitlin Ramsey, and Hannah Taylor joined forces in 2020 to create their unique brand of rye, gothic, harmony-heavy Americana. Lovers of punk, country, folk, and maudlin sad girl caterwauling will be equally at home at the Flying Vees show. Bring it back up and then we'll put them on the show. Now realizing that piano solo was the right time to do the bio. Anyway, welcome to the show, Flying Vees.
Hi.
So again, Hannah, Shannon, Brechyn, and Caitlin, thank you so much for joining us. So honored to have you on.
Thanks for having us. To be here.
Yeah. And again, thank you for trusting me. That's always like a moment that I'm always like, I'm hoping they say yes, but you never know. Some rando comes up to the merch table. I'm sure you get your share of weird conversations that I'm like, I have a podcast, and so does everyone else in the world. But hopefully, the outcome is this. And so again, thank you for that.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Thank you.
So I guess that video is about to end, but what a great, imagery you went for there, and obviously the track is killer. So tell us a little bit more about the song, and then also maybe the video.
Brechyn, you want to take this one?
Brechyn wrote that.
Yeah,
sure. Okay. So the song, and that's just, I don't know, it just popped in my head, and I had it backlogged for a while. I was in another group with my sister called the Hello Strangers, and she started having children, so that kind of like was like, all right, I need to focus on that, right? So
Kids ruin everything.
Understandably, I had this so I had this song backlogged, and I was just like, all right, whatever, it's just sitting there. And then Caitlin had this great idea to form this band of these women that she loves, and then we started writing together, and that's how the song was kind of reborn, and they make it sound so good. And shout out to Tyler Mickley, the guy running around in the woods. He produced and filmed and made the whole video.
That's so fun.
Such a talented guy. That's pretty cool.
So he set up
Fun
the
to watch
camera
that
and
again.
went for a run.
Right.
They came back to it and shut up.
Yeah.
He really wanted us to torture him in that.
Yeah.
It did. Yeah, it kind of has that
We were,
that kind of vibe to it for sure. Sorry, I cut you off there, Caitlin.
yeah.
Oh no, I just said we were down to torture him.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Seems like fun. That was that. Like, let's go over this for a moment. So Brechyn and Shannon are vocals, Caitlin keyboard, and Hannah vocals and guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of want to just lay that out there for everybody. But and then is songwriting typically shared? Like, is it like someone brings an idea and everyone fills it out, or is it one person writes a song, another person writes a song? How does the songwriting typically work?
Shannon, you want to take that?
Yeah, I think mostly we write our songs independently and then bring them in, and then like I've written some pretty bare bones, simple things, but once you get them in the room, they end up sounding gorgeous. Even just like the most spindly little idea for a song, so it's awesome. Yeah,
totally. Yeah. And obviously they are vocally driven, like lyrically driven. Like the nature of these is in that kind of folky Americana style, where it's going to be a show about the harmonies, the lyrics, and then the music is there too. That's killer, but it's like, it's not like there's a 4-piece drum, like there's not, drums and bass and so on. It's more about the storytelling. Mm-hmm. And each one of you too is part of other, projects. So like when you're writing a song, I have to think there's like, oh, this is a Flying Vees song. I got to save this one up for when I meet with that group.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I feel
excellent.
like they all kind of to like make sense for this band. Like there's always just like I think the bands that we're in are different enough, but there's always just like, yeah, this is definitely a Flying Vees song.
Right. That's the sense I got, was that seemed to be the case. Yeah.
Flying Vees.
Yeah.
And I never would have guessed, like watching the show that night, I would have thought you guys had performed, a ton of shows together for years. And it's something where you were even talking about before we came on that you haven't played a ton, at least in Philly. And it's starting to happen now to build up some steam.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like, that's like the interesting thing is when I saw you perform, I just thought this was something that, had been, you guys were so tight and so, put together, like the whole thing was something like, seemed like it was like a second nature to you all, which obviously it is, but I mean, like, that's the other great part about a performance that I'm encouraging people to go check it out when they get a chance is it's such a great, I just find like music like yours and a lot of people who we bring on the show, the live version of that song and the other ones we're going to play blows your socks off way more than the recorded version, which is no disrespect to the recording. It's great, but it's like the live stuff is like where it really, the magic happens.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sure.
That's a nice compliment. That's like, I don't know. I wasn't really sure what I was walking into when I met up with this initially, and it just like locked in within 5 minutes.
I was going to say the same.
Crazy.
It was like immediately.
Yeah.
We were just really in sync, and it was like meant to be. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, and again, like it's even hard to explain, which is why I like even hesitate to use Americana. But like I always go with what the band wants to go with. But at the same point, it's like if I were to just describe it, where it's like, okay, it's a keyboard, it's a filthy blues guitar, and then a lot of harmonies. That people will be like, "Why? I don't even know." Audience members are probably like, "I don't know what I'm walking into," and then it just doesn't matter. Excellent. So like then you just sit back and you enjoy the artistry, and you just want to learn more about it and see it again. So like that's where we're at. And again, thank you for coming on. What we typically like to do on the show is take it back so we can learn like the journey that people have been on. So what the interesting thing we want to hear is like we're going to hear 4 separate journeys to how it got to the Flying Vees, and then we can kind of piece that Voltron together and figure out like how that all came together. But I'll just go left to right on the screen. So Brechyn, if you don't mind, just take me back to like, where did music, the phrase I always use and people make fun of me for, but it's like, where did music grab a hold of your brain and not let go?
Since I was born, basically, my dad was my dad was a jazz pianist. He was in bands when I was growing up. The first band I was actually ever in was with my dad's jazz band when I was 14, singing in a smoking room.
I didn't know that.
Did it have a name, or was it just like the
Blue Chair? I didn't name that. I was just along for the ride, man. So, but no, it was that was there. It was like a bunch of faculty members, teachers playing music, and that was my first. But like my grandfather was in the big band era. He was huge in that. My other grandfather was a drummer. My mom plays classical piano. Music is just constantly a a part of our life. And also watching my older sister like do it too. And just was living and breathing it since day one, basically. So
yeah. And you had mentioned that your sister and you were in the Hello Strangers.
Yes, yeah, that was like my first big band, like touring band, and like really like getting to it, putting yourself out there band. So yeah, which was wonderful because and also just like love working with men. My husband is my bandmate too, but like really drove me to like how much I love working with women. So too.
Sure.
So this is
right.
like I just the harmonies and everything, like, it's just wonderful being in like singing with these women and playing with these women. So there's just that kinship too, but always been drawn to that.
The lady power. That's what we were talking about. Like the catchphrase. Yeah. That's fantastic. Caitlin, tell us more about your journey in music.
Well, mine started when I was 5. So I was a classically trained piano player. So I grew up playing Suzuki piano. I went to the Eastman School of Music when I was a teenager, and I played a lot of music when I went to college. So I've always been a classical player until after college. I started to play in bands. I actually played in bands in Philly, and I was like, oh, this is really fun. This is way more fun than playing classical piano music. So I met a lot of people in Philly playing in bands. I met Shannon years and years ago. And then I met Brechyn's now husband. Yeah. He was my friend. He was my friend first.
That's right. Actually, come to think of it, I met him.
I was my friend. So he, I just met so many amazing people, and I also love music festivals. I love bluegrass festivals. As a piano player, is kind of funny, and that's where I met Hannah. Was at a bluegrass festival. So I just love music, all different kinds of music. So
that's awesome. And so, did I pick it up before where it was you were the one that kind of brainchild this thing?
Yeah, as I said, I already knew Shannon and Brechyn, and then when I met Hannah at Gray Fox Music Festival, one of my favorites, I fell in love with her. I just thought she was amazing, and then very lovable. And then I found out that you knew Shannon, right? And I was like, oh, wait a minute,
clicking.
So I kind of just. Yeah, I kind of just suggested let's all, and for Hannah, that because Shannon already knew us. Yeah. And Shannon's been to Chambersburg before. So, but for Hannah, that was a real, like, I don't know these people at all, really. I'm just going to go and see what happens. And it was magic within the first 5 minutes. It was incredible.
It is super cool, like, when you can feel it. Like, you get a bunch of talented people together. That doesn't have to click. And when it does, though, it's like, wow, let's do more of that. Hannah, let's hear about your journey.
I've also been playing and singing. Well, I've been singing forever, and I am also a classically trained musician. I was a real band geek. I was like in the top 5 percentile of New York State. Playing clarinet and like NISMA. I was like one of those clarinetists.
I remember. I grew up on Long Island. I remember hearing NISMA. Yeah.
Okay. I was like in all the honor bands and stuff, and I loved it. But I also played guitar. Like I'm self-taught. I don't know if you noticed that I played.
It's an upside down left-handed.
Yeah, I play.
That is so cool. I was definitely going to ask about that because you must have picked up someone's right-handed guitar and learned off of that.
So my dad was in bands. He's like on a he hasn't been in a band in a while, but he was in bands all growing up, like rock and roll and Zydeco, and he plays a little bit. He's a drummer, but he also plays guitar. He's also self-taught. So we just had guitars laying around, and he sings too.
Right.
But I digress. We always had guitars laying around, and I picked one up when I was like 11, and it just felt better to play it like this. This way does not make any sense to me. I cannot wrap my brain around it. I mean, I like...
Which you are mirrored right now, so it actually looks like you're playing righty right now.
Oh, that's so weird.
I just want to mention that for the audience, really. It's totally fine. But
yeah, this is my right hand, this is my left hand, and this is my right hand.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that made the most sense. And so yeah, I was like self-taught, and I really just wanted to like wail and play guitar. So I like taught myself, and so my dad would like put my fingers on the frets. He like didn't try to correct me or anything. He was just like look at the frets and put my fingers on, and and I learned like all the basic chords and stuff. And then I like
Hendrix, his guitar was strung upside down, wasn't it?
So he actually he played like a proper lefty. I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was upside down. Well, I'll get corrected in the chat.
Upside down too. Yeah, don't quote me on that. There's Elizabeth Cotton plays that way. I'm trying to think of. There's like a couple other Philly musicians that play that way too, which is like wild. When we met each other, we were
normalized
like,
playing the
play
guitar
that way too.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I've always been like singing and wailing. But since I'm self-taught on like the guitar, I never went to. I never had lessons for that because I never thought a teacher would want to touch that with like a 10-foot pole. And also like, yeah, I'm from like a really rural area too, where they were just like, oh, a lady playing rock and roll. Oh no. Oh my God. So I'm kind of always quiet about that.
Yeah.
But
we're going to get into more of that talk a little bit later
oh,
on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the internet can't be wrong, right? But it says Jimi Hendrix used a right-handed guitar strung for a left-handed upside down with lighter gauge strings.
Yeah. So like proper lefty, right?
Often a 10 to 38 set and tuned half step to E flat.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was said with confidence. But yeah, and so if everyone else doesn't mind, I also wanted to take one other kind of tangent in the Hannah Taylor story about your graphic design stuff.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So I wanted to just bring up your website because I think it's really awesome stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the Hannah Taylor paintings and drawings. So like these are all, I mean, incredible murals that you've done in the top here.
Thank you.
Right?
Awesome.
Yeah,
there's ones with you in it. Hang on, let me get you.
Oh yeah, just for scale.
I like it for scale. Like it's just like a massive piece. By the way, this one's awesome. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, that one's one of my favorites. Yeah. Don't let me put psilocybin mushrooms in that one.
Looks like such hard work.
Oh my god, that one was wild. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other thing that was neat in here was you had like time lapse.
Oh yeah, I wish I did more of those.
Yeah. So like that one we were just talking about, like you can. But yeah, so that's cool. And then there's other stuff too. Like there's holiday cards and
a lot of old
political statements.
I'm getting back on my political bullshit. I like.
Of course you are.
I know. I like. It's time. I did a lot of it when I was in art school, and then like post art school, and then I did a lot of it when Trump was elected the first time.
Right.
When I just got burnt out. I'm like, this.
You do. You're just like, I can't deal with any more of this crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Enough is enough. Anyway.
Back when I was in art school, I would like listen to like Glenn Beck to like piss myself off and like drive. Like, why am I doing that to myself?
That's pretty funny. I just wanted to point out that people can reach out to you to kind of do commissions and stuff, right?
Awesome. Yes, they can. Thank you.
So that contact page, the email address is there. Reach out, have a mural done. So I did want to mention that because you mentioned you talked about your father in like a Renaissance man kind of way. You're a Renaissance woman. And you have all these different things going on, and it's really awesome stuff. So, and I mean, just like that was part of the joy of this whole journey where I was looking through, like, look at all this awesome stuff, like all the bands you're in and all this other stuff. Like all four of you are just so talented and so great. But cool. And Shannon, let's hear about your journey.
I don't really have the chops that the rest of these girls have, but
yes, you do.
I have been for a long time, just to make a little extra money here and there. I started like, gosh, it sounds so sad, but like 25 years ago, I started singing in a duo, like doing weddings, doing parties, stuff like that. My duo was called She Hates Me. And we played around this area for like 10 years. We did mostly like standards and stuff.
Sure.
It was a great experience. I just really logged a lot of hours behind a microphone and, learned to sing through just about anything. People watching television, people shouting at me, drunk people crashing into me, everything. And I've been in like a bunch of bands, like sat in with a lot of Philly bands since then. Started writing songs like, I guess about 10 years ago after singing for a really long time. And I finally thought like, hey, maybe I should try writing some songs too.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Did I come across that the She Hates Me band name came from your bandmate recommending a band name and you hated it and they said, well,
yeah.
And then that's just where it was born out of?
That's exactly right. Yeah. And yeah, there was a lot of contention between the two of us. I think that's what made the act work. So
sure.
It was a fitting name. Yeah.
Right. That's so funny. And then I did come across this that I just thought was just a fascinating thing, was that you had vocal cord paralysis.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And that's got to be terrifying for a singer.
And I'm a teacher too, so that's my whole life is my voice. So
sure.
That was 2 years ago. I had 3 years ago now. I had thyroid surgery, and yeah, my vocal cord got paralyzed, my left vocal cord, and I couldn't speak or sing or swallow fluids.
Wow.
For like a couple of months, a long time, too long. And I was like Googling it, a lot. And it was like, oh, it could come back in a week. It could come back in a year. It could come back never. So,
that's not
really
that one.
Symptoms.
No,
Thanks for the
I
vote
was
of
like
confidence.
really religious during that time. And thank God everything, repaired itself.
That's again, it's gotta be.
But let me say one more thing about that over the course of that ordeal, I learned that your vocal cords are activated by the vagus nerve that wraps around your heart.
Whoa.
And when my doctor told me that, it kind of took my breath away. Like all the singing that we do is so like intimately, it's
that makes a lot of sense.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
You've made my night right there. But that's so cool. But yeah, thank you all for sharing the backstories. It's just always somewhat, I hope to kind of, share those to kind of express all the hurdles everyone's overcome, but then also inspire people who are maybe going down the similar path and feeling a little bit, maybe burnt out or kind of like they need a inspiring story. And so always like to kind of touch on those. So thank you for that. Let's talk about that. So we touched on like the moment of origin. Caitlin brings the Avengers together and there's magic that happens right away. And then kind of, where does it go to from there? Like, what's the, the exciting next steps? Like, as far as like either the writing of the songs or early gigs, or like, how does it kind of come together there where you continue to see the validation?
I think, I'll say one thing. I think it helps. So, all right. So Shannon and I are in Collingswood, New Jersey right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Brechyn and Caitlin are in Chambersburg, and they live out there, and we live over here, and it's like a 3-hour drive. So we have to like really, like, every time we get together is very intentional.
Sure.
So I think that helps a lot with the structure of like how this band operates.
Absolutely.
We don't see each other that often. We see each other like maybe once every 2 months, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But yeah, so I don't know. I'll just throw that out there. If anyone wants to piggyback off of that.
Yeah, keep going.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I just want to say real quick, if there's at any point we look dead inside, it's because our connection on our side is not great. So if anybody says something profound and it happens to like drop out on our end, and we're just like, that's why. So we're doing okay, but there's been some moments where we're like, oh, jeez. So
I think that's terrific.
Okay.
We actually died on here.
Yeah,
we're internet issues, but we're here when we can be.
Yeah, no, and you don't look dead inside. But it's a good warning. But yeah, no. And anything else to add on those like early days, moments of getting together?
That was pretty special when we got on the All Things Considered blog, All Songs Considered blog with NPR. The first time we entered the Tiny Desk.
Oh yeah,
and they gave us a shout out, and our views on our video spiked.
That was cool. Wait, so I think whatever we gave, I think we actually started in 2018 or 2019.
Yeah.
And so we were doing some, I don't know why we don't say that explicitly, because when COVID happened, we did that first, it's on our YouTube, but it's the Backup Motherfucker was the Tiny Desk submission for 2020. And we submitted it and it blew up. And we were like at the top of the judges' picks for All Songs Considered. And then literally like 5 days later, COVID happened.
The whole world happened.
And we're like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
well,
we literally
fuck us,
made
I
that
guess.
video in early March of 2020.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I remember things were sort of feeling uneasy because I
getting
got
weird. Yeah.
Absolutely. Made that video, and I never do that, but
well, so this is a perfect transition because there are two songs that I wanted to bring up while we chatted to have you speak of them. One of them is this phenomenal track. In case that was said a little too quickly for people, the song's title is Backup Motherfucker. And when you play this song live in concert, the best part about it is you don't see it coming, and then you're like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!" So,
I'm trying to play up the Sunday school teacher look.
right.
Hit him with that song at the end,
and then this drops. But anyway, let's take a listen to this. After a little bit, I'll bring it down and we can talk about it. But enjoy "Backup Motherfucker" by the Flying Vees. Just so incredible. So I almost hate to have us lower it and talk over it because it's so great. But obviously, this is where we'll get into the lady power side of things, where we'll start to talk about some of these things, especially the other track we're going to share too. But like the elements here are like the sharing the trials and difficulties of being a woman in the world, like. And then you get to put it out on stage like this in a way that's very empowering. Like, that's where this is stemming from. I wanted you to kind of speak to that.
Oh, yeah. Shannon wrote that song.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say I wrote it. I would say, like, it dropped out of heaven into my mind. Like an apostle. But I will say that, like, every time when we get done playing that song, many, many women come up and comment and say, There's one woman at Gear House that said, "Oh, I made that my ringtone," and I'm like, I work with a bunch of guys, and they know when they hear that phone ringing, like it just is a good reminder to them, like
Yeah.
in business, yeah.
We also we always somehow we perform the song, and there's always children.
There's
in the
always a
audience,
kid
and
there, yeah.
And I teach kindergarten as a kindergarten teacher, so but I love how we always stand by the message, which is, I would say this to my students: if someone makes you uncomfortable, you don't have to be nice. You can tell them to get away from you, and that's okay.
Right.
And we always stand by the message, and we'd actually have had parents come up to us and thank us for that song. Like they appreciate it for their
Sure.
children.
Right. It's not gratuitous swearing, in other words.
It's not.
No, it's empowering.
Yeah.
Now I got to think. So who wrote this? Shannon, you wrote this one? Yeah. So I got to think the day that you bring it to them, that there's this elation and almost like can't get through it because it's so awesomely, and then it has a comedic aspect to it. So like it's got to be those first couple of takes were so difficult to get through until it finally is like, okay, now it became the mantra of the song.
I do think we had a lot of laughs when we first started practicing that song.
I think we did too, and I think that was like the very first song that we practiced together as a group.
Awesome.
And I remember, like Caitlin was saying, and I didn't really know what I was walking into, but I knew you and I knew Caitlin, like from great context. So I was like, okay, I trust like whatever it is I'm about to walk into. And like we started to play that song, and then I think Brechyn and I like locked into the Bop Choo Bas or something, and I was like, oh fuck yeah, all right, this is good.
I know it's so like it's just beautiful. It really is, because like I'll even forget, and I'll be like doing the dishes or walking around and be like, motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
And then I'm like,
nice.
And sometimes I'll be like, what am I? Oh, that's right, that's that one. Anyway, so it's just like really, really cool. And I'll never forget this too. I don't know why, and again, I'm gonna bet that this happens more often than I wish it was true. But like, I think after you sang it, or some other point in the night, some knucklehead guy in the audience just yells, "Now sing one for guys," and one of you were just like, "No." And I was like, who is that guy? Go away. Like, what are you talking about? Anyway, it was like,
go to any other show.
Right, exactly. Like 98. Guess what? Right after this, the Fantastic Cats come on. I bet you they're going to sing a bunch of, like, and again, no, it has nothing to do with anything other than just the reality of things. Like, let this be a moment. Like, Jesus, leave it alone. Anyway, so, but does that happen a lot? There are a lot of times people just yell stupid crap.
Kind of. Not a lot, but I feel like any one of us is like really quick with like a quip back that
Sure.
like just shuts them up.
Right.
Which is very, it delights me.
Yeah. Well, it was delightful that night too. Like the fact that just put that person in their place, and like obviously the rest of the room was laughing along with you all. That person's got to find a path in life. But no, I mean, and again, like the chops of the music too. So it's not just clever lyrics. It's not just something to get a laugh or a snicker or views on YouTube. It's really, really awesome music that just has this as a component to it, as well as a part of its artistry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They're not trying to mic drop there. I just wanted to, I guess my point is like, the music is there too. Like that could be an instrumental that someone would listen to as well. It doesn't have to be just clever lyrics. It's the combination of the two is what just elevates each other.
Nice. Well, it's good to hear.
Yeah. Cool. So the other song I wanted to kind of bring in is almost the opposite end of the emotion, and it's the song "Womb," and it is again another women empowerment kind of talking about the difficulties of what's gone on in the world, especially in the United States, and it's another song that just speaks to these challenges and difficulties that gets basically unfairly swung in the direction of being handled by a woman and not the man. But wanted to give you again a moment to speak about this before we bring it on, because I want to let it play for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted you to kind of just give some of the backstory to the song. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. We're not going to talk about it, okay?
The silence was deafening. I think I looked dead inside on that one.
I remember exactly when I thought of the first line for the song, and it was when I was recovering from that paralysis, and I was on the table for acupuncture, and I was laying there with the pins in my face or whatever, because I did that to try and get my voice back. It worked, I think. Anyway, I remember laying there, and it was right after all that stuff was in the news about Roe v. Wade, and I heard it almost came like a bolt out of the blue, and I heard that first line, like, I was a hospital volunteer, and it's such a weird, like, it's a weird rhythm, it's a weird meter, length for the first line of a song, but I'm telling you, man, I went out to the car after that thing, and I wrote the whole song in the parking lot. Like, it just seemed to spill out.
And when you say it's like got that weird, rhythm or syncopation or whatever to it, and when you sang it that night, I thought it was something from like the 1600s. Like I thought it was, but then when it gets into like it talks about the United States, I was like, oh wait, that's a modern song. Like I thought you were doing a cover of a very old song from like, like the Revolutionary times or something like that. But then it was like, no, this is theirs. Like this is that, like but that's how good I think it is, and to the point about it just dropping in, like it's coming to you from centuries and generations of inspiration.
Could be. Because it's almost like I didn't even have to think about it. I'm telling you, like I wrote it into my phone 5-10 minutes.
Yeah. So let me bring it up here, and then again, I'll bring it down and we can talk about it. But here, enjoy Womb by the Flying Vees.
3, 4.
I was a hospital volunteer, made the varsity team in my sophomore year. For first place in each race I fought and I won. And then this thing happened, now all that is done. They say in America, folks can be anything, even a poor girl like me. But all I'm about to be is alone with a baby I can't even feed. It's crazy that I used to think I was someone before one mistake sealed my doom. But I'm not my brain, I'm not even my pain. It turns out that I'm only a wound. He knew exactly just what to say and broke all his promises right away. His life went on, moved along without a care. And you know the rest of it, how is it fair? They say in America you can be anything, even a dumb girl like me. But all I'm about to be is alone with a baby I really don't need. It's crazy that I used to think I was someone before one mistake sealed my doom. But I'm not my name, I'm not even insane. It turns out that I'm only a woman.
It's a tough one to listen to because you want to enjoy the melody, and then it's the lyrics just keep crushing you.
Just keeps getting worse and worse.
It won't let up.
It won't let up.
I mean, it's just but it's so like similar to the other one where it's empowering, perhaps a younger lady to be able to stand up for themselves. This one's also touching on that very important message to not let this happen. It's kind of doing it almost in reverse of saying, don't let this happen to you, or hopefully even also raising awareness to non-females, like that this is the truth of the situations. And so, again, I think this is, in addition to bringing great music for people to listen to, it's also got these very important messages for people.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah. I mean, that's an admirable, task to take on. And again, it's one that I guess I'm happy to see is getting received well, because you could see a time or a place or a different city or whatever where these wouldn't be as maybe easily as accepted, which is a part of the most important reason why this is so has to be done.
Yeah. I'm always ready to fist fight somebody who wants to start shit about that song. So it hasn't ever happened. So it hasn't happened yet, but I will fist fight somebody outside of the venue if they don't like it.
Yeah. Well, so
it's been very, very well received. We've had a lot of people, men and women, come up to us after they hear that song live and just say thank you, or some even have tears in their eyes. It's really moving to see people's responses. And well done, Shannon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there is more. There's plenty of other songs and music that people can check out either on YouTube. The streaming only really has the Devil Knows My Name track, but the YouTube channel has a lot of these options to check out. But we understand that there's forthcoming EP and release shows coming up. So I wanted to make sure that we break some news here, that people can have some stuff to look forward to this coming summer.
Yeah. Breaking news.
When's the release date? July 13th?
July 13th. It's a Sunday. It's not quite a matinee, but it's not quite a night. We haven't ironed any details out, but we got the room. It's going to be at the Ethical Society on Rittenhouse Square in Philadelphia.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And so
it's a really beautiful room.
Beautiful room.
Beautiful girls.
Yeah.
Be there or be square.
Sunday, July 13th. We're working on we're getting the masters back from our EP. We're hitting the studio this weekend to maybe add some more to it. And working on the album artwork and all that other stuff that goes along.
Who could we find to do the album artwork?
I know. It's really
keep everything in house. I like that.
That's right.
We did get a little sneak preview today, and fucking awesome. It's
nice.
Might change it 20 more times. So
and then a global tour to support the release, right? You're going to tour the entire plan.
And I would also just like to give a quick shout out. We recorded our first single actually in my basement.
Nice.
My husband recorded and produced the whole thing, and Matt Cullen, he did an amazing job. So we were lucky to even keep that in our house.
In-house, literally.
Literally
in-house.
Right downstairs. Very cool. No, I do hope that we can have you come up this way and play in Bethlehem, and we have some great venues, especially some that really support that whole folky Americana kind of vibe that I know a lot of people would want to come out for this stuff.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah.
For sure. Absolutely. But anything else we can promote? I mean, obviously there's the music, the forthcoming release, the art, all that good stuff. Anything else? Any other elements to the Flying Vees? Actually, you want to know what? Even funnier? We actually have a restaurant up here called the Flying V. So you can eat at the Flying V and then go see the Flying V. It'll be a great cross-selling, kind of promotional, and it's really close to this one venue I'm talking about. And what they are, the reason why they're the Flying V is it's Canadian poutine. So it's their logo is like the Canadian geese and stuff like that, and the poutine is amazing.
Nice.
So yeah,
nice.
So yeah, it'll be a Flying V double header.
I'm poutine, so whatever. Name, place, and time on there, man. But yeah, our most recent show, I guess, will be June 1st at Manor Mill in Moncton, Maryland. That's our upcoming one, right?
And what we can do is
it happened.
They froze.
It just I got that inside.
You're dead inside, guys.
You can always come to the Flying V on Instagram here, the Flying V's with an S at the end and 2 E's. But this will be where you can keep track of all things Flying V, like the coming shows and the releases and so on. Here's the show I was at.
Nice.
This was the World Cafe one.
December.
Yeah. And then you played at the Low Cut Connie thing.
Mhm.
Allie the Piper. Look at all this cool stuff going on.
Yeah,
That
we
was
had
a great
we had
show.
a lot of really cool stuff in the last like 6 months. So
Yeah.
hopefully it's just gonna, it's all uphill from
We
here.
got a lot of stuff this summer.
Yeah.
Manor Mill, and then our CD release on Rittenhouse Square, and then
Robin and Beth
Fest in the woods in the Poconos, and then
Ossipee.
Caitlin said we could say we're playing at the Ossipee Bluegrass and Folk Festival in Maine.
Oh, Maine is awesome. I love Maine.
July?
In July, yeah. It's a fun fest too.
That's awesome.
And only 5% of new bands get accepted, not to brag.
Too late. Too late. That's awesome. No, I'm so happy to see it and hear it for you all. Like it's so clearly awesome music, and love the energy that you can see. This also admiration and support between the four of you, like while the show's going on. Like it's just such cool stuff. So this type of momentum and success is what you would hope for when it feels this right. So I'm so happy for the four of you, and can't wait for that new music to come out. We always play one more track after the credits roll. So I always try and pick my favorite song, and the one that just absolutely took my breath away that night was Greenbacks and Lines. So if you want to set that one up now, and then we're going to play it after the credits roll, if you can tell us a little bit about that song.
Cool. I wrote that one. That's the only song that I've written that's like seen the light of day, that's like fully fleshed out. It's like my only song, basically. So
Nice.
Thank you very much. It's like a sad girl cocaine lullaby. I like my tagline when I play that one solo is I used to be a piece of shit, but I'm not anymore.
You're not alone.
Shout out to people who aren't a pieces of shit. I don't even think I was that much of a piece of shit, but
No.
Man, I was fucking sad when I wrote that song.
But it worked.
And I remember to set up another part, I think this might have been the same weekend that we all got together the first time.
Yeah.
And I love to play music, but I just don't I don't like to write, or I don't like to show people what I've written. I don't even like to face myself when I'm actively writing.
Sure.
I just have a lot of song seeds that just are buried in a notebook, and it's this big, and nothing's fully fleshed out. But this one fell out of the sky to me.
A lot of stuff falling out of the sky for you all. That's just scary.
Yeah. It was like a beacon. It was like an antenna. I was an antenna in the song, and I think I wrote it in one sitting also.
What I will say is when there's this, I have such admiration for somebody who's willing to be vulnerable and brave and share. You can joke self-deprecatingly and say you were a piece of shit, but you're also kind of sharing this difficulty that you had.
Yeah.
And that means something to so many people. I don't know if you've seen or heard, but we do that Listen to the Dissonance show, and musicians are just so able to connect with somebody who's struggling and say, hey, I was there too. And this is a song I wrote about that dark time. And then that person's like, oh my gosh, this is now making me able to handle tonight. And that's so powerful. So I just also think that that's part of the emotion, is when you're going to be that genuine and put that out on there. It's so just pervasive. And again, it exceeds the music. It's just something that's so, emotionally powerful. And I just think that's part of what came across that night. And just, you never know who you're connecting with and helping them through a very difficult moment.
Thank you. Yeah. I gotta keep that in my back pocket, because I feel very isolated a lot of the time. So I forget that shit I do affects people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's so true. It's that really powerful connection, and I've just seen it be. It's what inspired those events to happen. It was these, connections of audience member with musician who was brave, and it's oh, okay, let's amplify that, and not in a weird way. Let's just allow that to be in a safe space in a room and let it breathe. And then when it can happen in spaces like this, where it might not have been the theme, but it also is helping somebody. Again, it was just super cool, and it's such a great song. So
awesome.
Hopefully everybody will stick around and take a listen to Greenbacks and Lines. We did get one comment here. That's what I got distracted by. We got Long Live the Vees from Spencer.
That's my husband. Thanks,
And we can get can we get confirmation that were you Caitlin's friend first? That's what we want to know. That's
true.
I'm just kidding.
Oh my
We'll leave that a mystery.
That's awesome.
But anyway, Brechyn, Caitlin, Hannah, Shannon, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight and sharing all the great stories.
Thanks so much
Thanks
for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
We can't wait for the
thanks
new
for
music.
everything you
Oh,
do,
thank
and-
you. It's my honor.
Yeah.
It's something I love to shine a light on all this great music. So everyone check out the Flying Vees.
Cool.
Thank you.
So there they are. I mean, what a great group of again the lady power, the musicianship, the phenomenal lyricists. I mean, just all of that stuff is on full display, and you can just see how it just clicks so well with these talented people, these wonderful musicians and singers. So like I said, there's one more track to play, but can't wait for the EP to come out. Definitely check out all of that. And if you get a chance to see them perform live, follow the Instagram and so that you can keep track of where they are. And
All right,
we'll
Phil,
amplify
let's
it
say
on our
goodbye
side
to
as well.
everybody.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Your Next Favorite Band. We'd like to sincerely thank Hannah Taylor, Shannon Vasile, Caitlin Ramsey, and Brechyn Chace for joining us and telling us their backstories and the origin of the Flying Vees, the unapologetic Lady Power Americana. There's some great music out there on their YouTube channel. We'll put links in the show notes to all the things we spoke about today. But just wonderful stories and just incredible, admirable things they're doing to kind of not only put out this great music, but in a way that is advocating for, awareness and strength. So we always want to make sure that we point to those links in the show notes so that you can keep tabs on all of that. And make sure you check out a live show. Like I was saying earlier, the live performance it kind of just sets the recorded music on fire and really is where the magic is. But as always, our hope here on this show is to bring you your next favorite band. If you tuned in tonight because you already knew of the Flying Vees, thank you very much. We hope that you like what you heard and what you saw, that you might like and subscribe to our show so that we can bring you your next favorite band in a coming week. The whole summer is already building out to be wonderful. We've got some great guests already lined up for everything, or your next favorite band might already be out there. Nextfaveband.com has all of our prior interviews, both the video and the audio versions. And if you need any help navigating that and you want a recommendation, just let me know. And we would love to kind of have that happen. Hope to see you at a live show soon. And now, stay tuned for one more track, Greenbacks and Lines by the Flying Vees.
Daddy, oh daddy, won't you lend me a bill? I spent all my money on whiskey and pills. I promised to take it and to pay it on time. But the only thing saving me are greenbacks and limes. Oh mother, won't you spare me a crime? I said that I'd call you when I'm so inclined, but you make me feel angry, and it feels on the line. But the only thing saving me are greenbacks
something